The angels say to keep it simple. They say that we are born with batteries of spiritual energy called the chakras. They're part of our soul, part of our essence, and part of our armor in a positive way, part of our spiritual tools. Sure, fear is a teacher. Fear is a teacher, but fear is also very intense. And when we have to go through that hurt of, does anybody really see us? Does anyone care? Does anyone get who we are? That's difficult. When you take fear away and you return to human beings, then wow, the miracles will wow you. It's not about anyone knowing your name. It's not about what you achieve or what you personally accomplish. It's truly about what vibration did you carry? Did you walk your talk? No matter where you are, were you authentic and honest with yourself? And if you don't have that yet, ask for that from your soul.
Belinda Womack, welcome on Just Tap In. What are you most excited about right now globally and in your life?
Globally, it's that we're changing. We are transforming fear. We came here for that. We came to experience it. And we may not be able to see it, but we can feel it. I can feel it. You can feel it. So that's a beautiful thing. For me personally, I'm excited to have this amazing energetic transmission with you so we can help humanity.
Yeah, me too. And people might not believe this, but some years ago, you were working as a cell biologist at a university lab. And one day, from the blue, Archangel Gabriel came in with some trumpets and relayed to you a message that said, humanity has forgotten that they are God's divine children. How do we start remembering that we are that?
I have to let the angels answer the question, Emilio.
Beautiful.
They've already taken over my brain, and it just wasn't going to work for me to try to answer. So awesome. Here they go. Precious and beloved creations of Mother, Father, God, infinite divine source, we say that we know who you are. And even though you've had clouds covering your eyes, especially your third eye, we know who you are. And you can be nothing less than Creator's eternally loved and supported divine child. Where do you begin? Allow it. Breathe it in. Feel the truth. Precious ones. And we are not trying to puff up your egos by calling you precious. You are so brave. You have no idea of your courage. But feel it. Truth is something you have to feel. Your truth has been contaminated with fear for eons of time. But when you feel into the truth that is at the vibration of undiluted love, then you know. You know within every cell of you, your DNA begins to sing. It proclaims, I am an awesome, divine child of Creator. I cannot fail. I am immortal. And I will rise above this final battle with fear's old male and fear's old female. And I will win because I am undiluted love. Feel this truth. Let it fill you and lift you up out of the not good enough, out of the not good enough. For you have always been far more than you may understand. We are the 12 archangels of the central sun, happy to be here, bringing love where it has been missing for far too long.
Wow. To start off with that really just opened my heart. And the archangels mentioned there that we have had clouds over our third eyes, that energy center in the middle of our forehead. And I'm curious to know how in your journey, the skies started to clear and that third eye began to become activated again. And how did your life change when that happened?
So, Emilio, it was two things. One is I had a dream with my divine inner child. It was my little Belinda. And Archangel Gabriel and Michael were in the dream, but they appeared as giant size black Labrador retriever dog, and a yellow lab. So it was a dream that pierced through my consciousness and said, what is happening? And this is before Gabriel came to see me in the lab. So that was one thing. And then the other thing I would have to say, sound, music. That's what really worked to open up my heart. And I also believe, I know that I said two things, this is a third, but destiny. Our souls have a mission. And we can be absolutely clueless as to what that mission is until all of a sudden we're not clueless anymore. We just get it. And then you can't back out of it. And I often say to my students, I'm a student myself, you're a student, let it come to you, relax, and let that mission that your soul has. It may be as simple as smiling at people. Let go of what it is, but it will come. It finds its way through. And, I was pretty shut down when I woke up. I don't know how else to say it. Because, I thought I was going to be a biologist for my whole life. I spent a lot of time in school learning all kinds of nonsense to be told by an angel, your life's going to change and you have new work to do. It was a little bit of a shock.
Yeah, you were telling me before we started recording that you feel other people. And I feel that also, there are moments in our life where we're more shut down and, we can't feel others, let alone feel our own emotions. So when you opened up, how did reality change when you started feeling other people? Can it become very overwhelming at times? Is it peaceful? What is that like, for sensitive people like you that, others that are tuning in can resonate with? How did that transition happen?
Well, to be absolutely transparent, it was the angels that I had shut the door to. I would say it was divine love I had shut the door to. Human beings, I've been able to feel and tune into my entire life. And I'm sure that was a survival skill that I developed as a little child. But once the angels came, and that's 30 plus years ago, my sensitivity has continued to ramp up. And it can be overwhelming. It definitely can be overwhelming. Then I have to use the tools that they teach. And that is, I have to I have to cleanse the emotions I've absorbed, which means to transmute any fear and negativity, because I don't want to send fear back or heaviness back to the person. I want to lift it up for all concerned, because we're so connected to each other. We don't understand how very, very connected we are. So, I honor those feelings, no matter what they are, whomever they're coming from, as they're sacred, right? So, but yeah, it can be overwhelming and
Yeah.
exhausting. The angels say, look, humanity is exhausted. Even if they don't know that they're empathic, they are. Even if they don't know they're telepathic, they are. Even if they don't know they're uber sensitive, they are. And so from their perspective, humanity is struggling with survival, because they from the angels' perspective, they say everybody's adrenals are fried, and you're trying to manage. When you are plugged into source, of course, it makes it easier, but you're still human. And you're still connected to every other human being. And lots of them, they don't know how to plug into source, meaning they don't remember that every time they take a breath, they're plugging into source. Right?
Yeah. Why is the divine child really a foundation of the teachings of the archangels?
From day one. Right? So what they give to us is a tool. And they say the divine inner child is the same as the pineal gland, third eye, heart chakra. Even though that's the third eye chakra, it opens that heart. And it connects us with something beautiful called Christ consciousness, which is the awareness of really how to be a loving, kind human being and being. They say that all children or most children are born into an incredible openness, connectedness with soul and angels and guides and the magical world. And that childlike innocence and trust that angels and those amazing beings are real, we don't lose that. We never actually lose that. And so to imagine the little child that we were immediately connects us with the third eye at such a frequency that we can't get shabungied. And shabungi just means hit by negativity or all the nonsense that fear generates.
I'm adding that word
darkest.
to my vocabulary, shabungi.
It's a fun one. So, yes, the divine inner child. Before our conversation, so as this morning, I tuned into my little Belinda, and she's there with the angels, and I said, tell me about little Emilio. And she said, well, you're going to like him. He's very in tune with all of our friends, which are everyone's friends. But his little Emilio, who was there, he has a hurt. But his hurt is the same hurt that all of human beings have. And it's the hurt of having to go through the many, many hours and years of just being slogged by fear. Sure, fear is a teacher. But fear is also very intense. And when we have to go through that hurt of does anybody really see us? Does anyone care? Does anyone get who we are? Like, that's difficult. And little Emilio was sent here to connect. He's a connector. And he wanted to come. He was very excited to come to Earth. When he got here, he didn't realize that it was going to be this heavy. And you, the adult, you found a great deal of courage to become your authentic self. And that courage is going to continue to grow. And the angels and your guides say it is going to get easier. But your little Emilio, he wants it to be better for everyone. He wants it to be better for everyone. And that's what my little Belinda says. She says, I'll feel really happy. I'll be able to really feel happy when it's better for all concerned. For all.
Belinda, I just got hit by a wave of emotion. I'm just letting myself sit with that. How do we begin to love those perceivable, unlovable parts within ourself, in our past, and really step into that courage that you're speaking into, and healing those past versions?
The angels say to keep it simple. They say that we are born with batteries of spiritual energy called the chakras. They're part of our soul, part of our essence, and part of our armor in a positive way, part of our spiritual tools. So the crown chakra, that is filled with violet fire. You called it the violet flame. But violet fire or violet singing light, because it doesn't burn anything. It's an alchemical energy that transforms fear into love. And it also transforms the past, bringing us to the present. Because it's not just the energy of transformation, it's the energy of forgiveness. The 12 archangels teach that forgiveness is transformation, right? We can't change anything, even though we're very powerful alchemists. We can't really get something to change from a lower vibration to a higher vibration until we forgive it, which doesn't mean we do it with our heads. It means that we, as you would say, we tap into our hearts and we say, I forgive it. I forgive it even if it's unforgivable. I forgive it even if I don't want to forgive it. I forgive it even if it doesn't want to be forgiven. Those are actually commands. Those are spiritual commands. And then we put whatever it is in the color purple, violet fire singing light. And we feel lighter. We'll feel the vibration shift, right? The angels teach us truth is something you feel. Love is something you experience.
We've often heard that, we are able to call upon angels for guidance, for healing, for support, for all sorts of things, but we rarely ask ourselves, is there a way that we ourselves or humanity can assist the angelic realm in return? What do the 12 archangels need from us at this time?
What do we need? Well, to be absolutely truthful, we need your cooperation. For you to allow yourselves to know that you are eternal and that you are evolving, you are ascending. And so what does that mean? Each and every moment that you say, my soul, fill me with freedom. Fill me with freedom so that I have it within, so that it manifests without. For this is a divine law. As above, so below, as within, so without. You are so powerful. to help us. It's very simple. It happens each and every moment you choose love. Each and every moment you say, no, I don't have room for fear. No more fear. Bring in freedom into your bodies. Breathe it in. It's the color turquoise. It's your will chakra and heart chakras put together. Freedom helps us. For you see, it is our mission to help you set yourselves free. We want to be clear here. When we say yourselves, we mean all human beings, all beings, everywhere within oneness, everywhere within source. Creator, infinite divine creator, Mother, Father, God, Great Spirit, is evolving. And Creator says, no more fear. And what does fear do? Fear takes away your freedom. And it takes away our freedom. Because it can limit how we can help you to help yourselves. We thank you for keeping it simple. You create your own reality. You have the power to do this. Breathe in freedom, walk in freedom, and watch reality change. And know that you change it for all. And this helps us on our mission of helping Creator to evolve, to rise up in vibration and frequency, to eradicate fear from her being. This is our mission. Thank you. Thank you for helping us.
I love that they talk about that we are the creators of our reality. And when we let go of fear, we're no longer chained to that and we can be free. I've also heard them speak into the existence of these parallel realities. When it comes to us operating in these many multidimensional realms and realities, how do they perceive that from their perspective? Hello, beautiful family. Quick one today. I just wanted to take a moment to thank each and every one of you that have subscribed to this channel. Your subscription means more than you know. Even though it's free, what you're doing is you're empowering a whole channel to be able to do this every single day and continue showing up in the way that we can with all of our resources on hand. Thank you for contributing to the growth of this channel, for sharing it with the people that you love, for creating a conscious movement of individuals that are seeking the sovereignty and the divinity of their soul. This is why we're here. And if you haven't already and you're enjoying this content, I invite you now to look below on that little button that says subscribe and welcome you properly to this community. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being who you are and being pure love and radiating that with everyone that you see. Back to the episode.
We answer this question by avoiding this question, but hear us out. It does not help you, human being, in this moment to go into your parallel lives, to try to figure out where else you exist within the universe. For let us explain it simply. We are all one. Where we are, you are. Where you are, we are. Those powerful galactic friends that you love, that are helping your earth, they are your family. All particles, all fractals of Creator can experience what all the other fractals are experiencing in the same moment. But our request to you is to be human. For if you spread yourself too thin in your consciousness, it might be fun, but you likely will forget your mission and why you are here. You see, what we need from you is to be grounded in the here and now, in your everyday life. This is where you will find God. This is where you will find the great infinite universe. Bring healing where it is needed. Bring love where it is needed. For the parallel realities and infinite number of universes. A time is coming when you will feel beyond and into realms that are new to you. And then it will seem very familiar. It will even seem comfortable. So hold on. Hear us out. You will know. But in this moment, be yourself. Be your glorious, incredible self, here and now on earth.
That is very helpful. I feel like we can get a little bit distracted into trying to go into our past lives, parallel realities, all of these things, but in a way, it could take us off of our path here as a human, what we're meant to carry out and live and feel at this moment. And I wanted to share a prayer that the Archangels shared about if we want to help those who are suffering. I wrote it down here. I'll go ahead and share it. It says, "Where are you within me, suffering ones? Where are you within me, angry ones, powerless ones, helpless ones? Through the love within me, I lift you up, and energetically, vibrationally, I send you back to the central sun to receive everything that you need, that you desire, and that will bring you true happiness." Why would this prayer see the whole schoolroom of humanity shift or change if we would all embrace this message?
Emilio, this is a question for you to answer.
I got it.
It's a beautiful prayer. Mm-hmm. They want to say they appreciate your prayer. They teach, as you know, that we can connect with the entire cosmos within our own being, within our own minds, within any cell in our body, we can connect. And from that place, we can find all of the hurting ones and the angry ones, those that suffer, and lift that vibration and bring in healing. So it is a beautiful truth. And yet in this moment, what they're saying is that you may be there. Belinda may understand. Many in your audience may understand. But so many human beings are suffering and in pain that they don't have the ability to grasp your prayer. So the angels say, put it in action. Those that do get it right, put it in action every day. Go within. Be in the violet fire waterfall. Go into the violet fire ocean of oneness and say, wherever you are within me, let's forgive it. No matter what it is, let's forgive it and transform it and make room for love and happiness, abundance, health. That's what happens when we transform fear. We make room for heaven.
Yeah, and it all goes back to those universal laws. And this is really speaking into the law of one, where there really is no separation between us as incarnate beings, that we're seeing everyone around us like, oh, that person over there, he's very different from me. She's very different from me. The reason I named this podcast Just Tap In is because when we tap in, when we look within, we can find those aspects of the mirror of the external reality. And, that person over there, whatever I'm triggered by is here as well. Whatever I can see and respect and love and admire in another person is also here. And it's a dance, really, playing with the internal and the external reality. The more we play with the internal, the more I've seen the external change. So that for me is putting it into action. It's like not trying to change everything outside first, but we've kind of seen everything backward, where the inner reality is really where the main focus should be.
And it's where we have power. If we focus on the external reality, we can feel so helpless and so powerless and just get sucked into the fear matrix, which is dissolving. But we can just get pulled into that things aren't going to change and that we are just helpless, little tadpoles trying to survive. But when we remember who we are a little bit, right? We breathe in that love and we go, wait a minute, I am part of Creator. I'm part of God. God lives within me. I live within God. I can change this. And that's what Master Yeshua taught and all the ascended masters, right? You can change this, but you have to do it within yourself. And so to understand that the communities of people that we see suffer, we can reach them by going within, because we are all connected. And as we continue to look in the mirrors and do the transformation work, we get triggered less and less and less. It's easier to hold on to incredible, blissful compassion and loving kindness. But in that state, then we can really send the love. And that's a great thing to do.
You brought up the fear matrix there. And if the creator of all of this, created this world of form into being, and in the beginning, the creator wanted to learn from duality. We had the fear, we had the love matrix was also created. Was the fear matrix always meant to dissolve? Or was that something that through the creation process, it was like, this needs to happen? I don't know if that question makes any sense. I'm just flowing, but
let's see what they say.
Awesome.
Okay? Our response, and we want to say that we have brought in some ascended master friends and some galactic council members. Our response is yes to both. Creator, in her extremely intuitive consciousness, she sensed that love could be taken for granted. Love could be not misused, but underrated. And so, in order to teach herself, because you see, we are all a part of her, she said, let me take love to its opposite vibration. Let me take that which is as pure as the glorious central sun and all the essences of the beautiful star beings and pristineness of love. Let us drop this into the lowest vibration possible. And then, of course, all hell broke loose. And what Creator learned is that fear multiplies. Fear multiplies and it gobbles up and it destroys. And in her intuitive wisdom, in her all-knowing place, we bring this to the present of now. She has said, enough. My entire self has learned to say no to the lowest vibration, for it is too destructive, and I no longer want to see that which I create destroyed for no purpose. Fear brought all of oneness to a place where oneness said, oneness living within Creator, Creator living within oneness said, I'm not growing from this lowest vibration. I'm not evolving. I'm not choosing love. I am stuck in perpetual hell. And so the cry was heard. The cry was heard by oneness. The cry has been heard by Creator. And so the choice was made, has been made, and as you know, was made in the beginning. It can be confusing for human beings because all there is right now. But when you lean into the now, when you feel it, and you hear us, fear no longer serves a purpose. There will still be balancing. There will still be yin and yang, feminine and masculine. But you do not need fear, because fear has come to the point of teaching you absolutely nothing. And you are Creator. Creator lives within you, always curious, always learning. Enjoy this.
Do you feel that love multiplies in the same ways that fear does?
They say no, it doesn't multiply in the same way that fear does. Fear multiplies like a bad virus, like panic. Where what love does is it lifts the clouds, it lifts the confusion. It lifts the vibration so that beings, whether that being is an amoeba or a 12 density angel, right, says, this is real. So fear is actually illusion. It's not real. An illusion can spread and be confusing to the point that we start to question, is love real? Is love real? Or is it just something you see on silly movies? Is it a real force within? And that's been part of the positive education from fear, is that we get to experience working with love as a power, because it is the greatest power. And it does transform the illusion. And that's why we're having this transmission right now, is to dissolve the fear that is here.
if an aspect of love is as it is a power and also a force, what else is love? Like, what is that higher understanding from the archangels of what love really is?
Love is the energy of Creator. Love is the energy of you. Your soul is made of love energy. Fear is the opposite of love in vibration, and it can be confusing of what's in the in-between between love and fear. And we say that until you reach the frequency of love, of purity, you're still in fear. You're still going to be confused. So how can you recognize love? It is the greatest, strongest alchemical power. It transforms fear back into love. Love has qualities that might be easier for human beings as well as all of oneness to embrace. These qualities are truth that you feel, justice that you see, compassion that you live, honesty that you keep. Love is kindness, even when you don't want to be kind. It's generosity when your own pockets are empty. And you may say to us, angels, really? Isn't that like sacrifice? And we say no. The word sacrifice actually means to make something sacred. When your pockets are empty, then you give of yourself. You give of your heart, your affection, your creativity, your problem-solving ability, your genius. This is your real wealth. Generosity is a quality of love. There are others. What we encourage you to do is to breathe in love, to experience it, to ask love, who are you? And love will take you to the mirror and have you look at your own eyes. And love says, well, I am you. You are me. Love is playful and happiness. Love is joy that doesn't end. Choose love. It's more important now than ever to shake off the dust, the remnants of sticky fear. Love pours over you like a cleansing rain. It removes it. And all you do is feel good. Because you want to be good, you want to be benevolent, you want to be helpful. You see this as love in action, as a power, moving all souls forward to help one another. They made me dizzy on that one.
That was a powerful one for sure. You mentioned a little bit before that the creator, if we are an aspect of creator, we have that same curiosity and that thirst for learning that the creator does. And in many ways, that's a reason why she created this schoolroom. What is the creator most curious about right now in its, development of the schoolroom? What is it curious to learn from right now?
We're not sure that we can answer that question because Creator, well, not in a specific way, our friend Emilio. You see, Creator is curious about how the power of love works, how it expands, how it creates from its genius. This is what love is. It is pure genius. Mother, Father, God, Prime Creator Source, is curious to see what is going to grow from the garden of love. What new beings will sprout up, and for all of the beautiful souls, whether they be angels or humans, whatever they be, insectoids, what comes next for their evolution? What will they choose? How will they be kinder? How will they grow and generate that which is absolutely mind-blowing impossible? This is what Creator wants to experience. Through you, through us, through oneness.
Have you gotten any insights, Belinda, as to what the archangels have learned most about themselves through us, through observing, through assisting humanity?
What the archangels have learned about the archangels?
About themselves, yes.
What they're saying, which I know you asked me that question, but I have no way to answer. I have no idea. So they're answering your question since it's about them. And they say that what they have really discovered working with humanity, wherever, in different beings, different races all over the great cosmos, is how wonderful a sense of humor is, and how delightful it is to make beings laugh, whether that's a cloud being or a human being or a star being. But they really appreciate humor, and that they say it is incredibly healing.
I love that. Part of humanity's separation is that we separated ourselves from nature. If you look at the definition of nature, we actively took ourselves out of it. And I'll invite people, look up the definition of nature. It's right there, and it shows how separate we have become from the animal kingdom, from the tree kingdom, the elemental realm. And I heard you once say that, some of these animals, like the ones that we see, the elephants, the dolphins, the whales, they are also divine angels, here to assist in the evolution of the planet. So how have you perceived, our connection with these other realms and kingdoms, and other beings that coexist and share this home with us, as also angelic counterparts?
Emilio, there are so many beings here that treat us like angels treat us, meaning they are so generous, they are so loving, they are so kind. So trees are angelic, definitely whales and dolphins and elephants, and they have such incredible intelligence, and they want to help us, and they are helping us because they are holding that frequency of love. And they don't come from Earth. So many species, races, however you want to put it, right? They weren't originally on the beautiful blue planet. They were brought here. They were brought here to help create this schoolroom. And there are other schools, but this is, we would say, kind of the climax point for the fear-love story throughout the great cosmos. And spending time in nature reconnects us with a frequency of Christ consciousness that just happens automatically. And that's why nature is so powerful. It's a healing tonic that will give ourselves, will give us whatever we may need. But the angels say that human beings never wanted to be separate from Mother Nature. That's not something that they wanted, that it's very much about the divine feminine. Mother Nature is feminine. And these beautiful creatures, whether they are in the oceans or in the mountains, wherever they may be, they are anchoring that divine mother, divine feminine, well, healing vibration, because it radiates out to us to help us to come back to that feminine, which is the bigger part of our brain, actually. So, what fear did is it pulled us away from the feminine. It pulled us into the male ego logical brain. That's not really all that logical, because the feminine brain is the intuitive brain. It's what helps us to make common sense from things. So as fear has come in, and those beings on earth, some really diabolical and some maybe just confused, they used fear to trick us, to enslave us, to pull us away from our feminine within us, our pineal gland, our heart, our divine inner child. Let's pull them away from that and enslave them through fear and through just the mental body. So the beautiful thing about going out in nature is that you unplug, but you unplug from your male brain. And we're not talking, male as in human male, human female. We're talking about a quality of part of the brain that is very action, do, the angels call it the duty brain, just keep doing. What do you need to do? What's your list that you've got to do? And we've been very programmed and pushed to only use that part of our brain. And nature and all those incredible animals, they just, even if we're thousands and thousands of miles away from them, they're still working all the time to pull us gently back into that feminine so that we feel. Feeling is what connects us with our souls. So we can't say enough for those incredible angelic beings out there that are on a mission to help us.
Yeah. I find it really hard to understand and feel into when I look at the story of humanity, how such divine, powerful creator beings that we are, how did we allow ourselves to become enslaved by an illusion that is fear? I still it's really hard for me to understand. And even though I can understand how some fears of mine have trapped me and limited me to doing what I, truly am meant to do. And slowly I start letting those go. But I find it hard to understand how a whole species gets enslaved by an illusion.
Well, you were sent here to help, as you know. Good human beings, they had a lot of other races from many different other stars, other worlds, come and tamper with the DNA that makes a human being and add to it and shut it down. Humanity in the beginning, the first humans were Well, they were, you know the story. The angels tell me that they were both raised up, they were given the gift of incredible genetic information, and then they were enslaved, right? Their lifespan was shortened, and they have, because, right, that's where we come from too, but in our avatar bodies, not necessarily our souls, with that DNA. It's all about the DNA. Everything's about the DNA. DNA was changed so it could believe the illusion, so that it could soak up the illusion of fear, so that it would, well, obey the fear. And what did that do? Well, that takes a human being or a race of people and pulls them into their survival brain, right? They just have to survive, so they do what they're told in order to survive. But that's all changing. And every human being, you're right, they have the power, but it's so hidden, right? Fear has covered it up. Let's say that you were a little boy and you hid all your allowance under the rug and you forgot about it. And let's say it was, a decent amount of treasures, some cool trucks and stones and, shamanic things and some amazing feathers that you found, but you forgot about it. And you kept piling new things on top of it. Like you got a rug, you got furniture, then you move out and somebody, builds a new house there. Well, that's where humanity is, Emilio. They've forgotten their treasure. They don't know that it's there. And so all of the angels and the helpers, so many amazing galactic helpers, are saying, human being, we're going to help you. But what you're looking for, it's actually under the rug. Which means, I'm doing this in metaphor, it means it's deep within. If we had never had it all covered up, of course, it would be that we would have laughed at fear. We would have said, well, I don't want to have anything to do with you, right? Even if it was some kind of horrible, ugly monster that was made out of fear and was going to come and eat us, we'd laugh and say, well, go ahead. I'm immortal. I'll just recreate myself. You can't take me no matter what. But we are where we are. Not you. You were sent here. You volunteered. Really, you were sent. Some of us were sent. There's councils, and some of them are the 12 archangels. The 12 archangels, they reach out, as many of the other, the council from Orion Council, then Andromedan Council, they reach out, but the angels do this too. They will reach out into other realms, other universes, and they will find souls that Creator has made and says, and they go like to Soul Emilio and they say, we need you on Earth. It's the crisis point. Will you come? You say, of course. Where else could I be? And so there's so many beautiful and miraculous transformations happening now because so many of the people walking around on Earth, they're not from here. They're helpers.
Yeah. For those who feel into the truth of, being sent here on a mission, what did they actually sign up to?
Well, truly, to keep it simple, but in that highest vibration of truth, they came here, they agreed to remember that love is the greatest power. And many chose to say, okay, I will take my fifth density, sixth density, and beyond soul, and I will plunge it into 3D fear, but I'm not going to turn off all that incredible high vibration DNA I've got. I'm just going to be this love bomb wherever I go, blasting love. It's a whole different EMF story with love. And it's beautiful. And there's so many that come to do that, but it's still a shock. It's an incredible shock to their systems, and they can struggle and say, I don't know who I am. I don't know why I'm here. I can't make a living. Of course they can't, because they're genius, and this world doesn't have, it's going to change, but it doesn't have, work for that kind of intelligence. So there can be an incredible amount of pain and frustration and lostness. But here's the thing. They're still doing what they came here to do. They're still love blasters. And then as they begin to remember, and of course, children remember earlier on now where they came from and why they're here. But as they remember, whether they are in the generation younger than you, your generation, all the way up to, us old fogies, they're remembering. They're remembering, and then the passion. This is one of the greatest things about the work I get to do, is when the angels have sent me someone who is just waking up, and all they want is spiritual truth. They want to feel it. They want to know it. They want to know why they're here, so that they can experience that they're a love blaster. Because then the self-esteem goes way up. The courage goes up. The trust in oneself goes up. And that changes the world. The angels are very, very grateful that you accepted the call. It's not your first time here. You've been here a few times to get yourself ready. But they're very truthful. It's been a big sacrifice. And for all of the, whether you want to call them light workers, starseeds, envoys, it was a sacrifice. And required incredible courage. Courage is another quality of love.
What would the world need in order to support the work of these geniuses that we're seeing all around us?
Take the financial pressure off and let them breathe. For everyone in the world. It would help to get the toxins out of the food and air, which is going to happen. Let me just bring in the angels and let them answer this. Okay. Awesome. They love to say where we're going.
Okay.
Where do we see the geniuses? We see them creating a new planet where there is balance and incredible beauty. The innovation, both inward and outer, is phenomenal. Earth is going to become a healing sanctuary, but it will also be where those who want to create something that helps oneness, something that brings healing, something that benefits all, they have the opportunity to invent it, to create it, and to share it here on Earth. When you take fear away, and everything that fear has created, which is illness, limitation, enslavement to money, which is made out of illusion, when you take that away and you return to human beings permission to do whatever their hearts want to do, then wow, the miracles will wow you. Where are you going, humanity? We understand you may not believe us in this moment. We do not speak in time. We do not predict the future in a time fashion, because it really does depend on when you create this reality, but you have lots of helpers helping you to create it. And then it will evolve beyond what we speak of. You won't have to think about money. It will no longer enslave you. You won't be working in order to survive, in order to earn a paycheck. But you're still going to love to work. Work is in your DNA. But we want to switch out the word work to say create, to build. You are going to love what you are here to truly contribute to Earth, to your own evolution, and to the great cosmos. You're going to have healthy bodies that work for you, that don't have aches and pains and suffer. You're not going to have addiction anymore. You're not going to have mental illness anymore. Can you imagine a world without violence, where everyone has more than enough to do what their heart desires? And you're not going to have fear, so you're not going to want to hurt one another. There will be no allowing of hurt, only growth, discovery, expansion. You will see, because you agreed to participate in this transformation. Sometimes we are asked the question, well, will I live long enough? And forgive us, because we know that the factual matter, the factual truth is, some of you may decide to exit before you get to experience what we hear is called the golden era. But most of you signed up to help be the bridge. Be the bridge and carry Earth to her fifth density and beyond reality. Why would you agree to all of this incredible hard work? Why would you agree to come to hell if you weren't going to help build the heaven, the joy, the place where only love and all that is beautiful and for the greatest good of all gets to be experienced? All of your pollution will disappear. The ugly buildings will be transformed. The gardens will grow. The land will be restored. Let us explain to you. It is like there is a blanket of illusion, it's called fear, that covers your pristine planet, who is also an archangel. Her name is Gaia. Where you see, as you rise up, you are dissolving the blanket from below as we dissolve it from above. And once it is gone, with some work and with some genius from your own incredible minds, as well as your brothers and sisters that live in other worlds, you are going to be impressed. You are going to love your home. And then we hope that you will pat yourself on the back and say, I am a co-creator of this beautiful paradise. This is why I came, to help create this. You will see. We only tell the truth. Feel it. Feel it. See it for those that have an inner eye that sees such things. And if you don't, focus on turquoise, the color of freedom. This energy of heart and will. This Christ consciousness. Behold a new world, for she is birthing into her true self, and so are you.
Thank you. Belinda, we end every show with a segment called the Final Trio, which are a few questions that we like to ask at the end. Before that, where would you send people to connect with the wonderful teachings of the Archangels, all the amazing resources, books, videos that you have out? Where would you send people to connect with that energy even deeper?
The easiest way is just my name, belindawomack.com. And when you click on that, you're going to be taken to Belinda Womack School of Spiritual Evolution. And that's where all the courses are and everything that anyone who feels a passion to learn the teachings of the angels will find.
Beautiful. We'll include everything as usual inside of the show notes with the links attached, so everyone can go find that right now. And for the final trio, the first two questions that I ask are personalized to the guest, and the last one we ask at the end of every show. Answer them however you want. The first one is, if humanity could fully embody the truth of oneness today, what would instantly change in our reality?
Violence and poverty. We would be free because we would know. We would know that we have the power to create heaven on earth, which is what we deserve, and we would know that we deserve it.
If you could plant just one divine teaching from the Archangels directly into the consciousness, subconscious of every single human being alive, what would it be and why?
Find a photo of yourself as a child, preferably one that you like. Look at the eyes of that child in that photo and say, help me, teach me, open me. And that is going to change everything, because that is the door. The divine inner child is a doorway to the highest consciousness there is, Christ consciousness. And that divine inner child will also open a door to what still needs to be forgiven, what still needs to go in violet fire. That's the alchemy. That's when we really change. And then as we change within, of course, our reality changes without, and we do that for all because we're all connected.
That's some homework for our community, and I'll invite all of you guys to let us know when you find that picture of your younger self and what it does to look into the eyes of you as a young child, as a divine child. And I definitely have a few in my phone that, you know, I've teared up looking at him. It does something to you. So just reinforcing the importance of that teaching. And thank you so much for sharing that.
And have a conversation with him.
Yeah.
Emilio. Let him be the teacher.
Ooh, I like that.
It's amazing. It's miraculous. You'll see.
The last question we ask at the end of every show, we call it the time capsule question. It requires us to look out a few years ahead, and in the timeline of humanity, even though time is a spiral and an illusion. But the reason I chose out a time frame in the future is because chronologically, that's going to be a point in time when the young generations of today will be stepping more into leadership positions around the world. And just like any great leader, they've had great mentors, great resources, great access to teachings. Like even the young Alexander the Great was taught by these great philosophers that were teaching him the truths of the reality. And you are given the opportunity to leave behind a time capsule for them that they would open in a few years down the line when humanity is, in a way, headed toward this golden era that we talked about. And when they open your time capsule, they'll be equipped with anything that you would like to leave behind that you feel will best equip them to be the greatest leaders possible and to really lead humanity into a golden era and into a new world free of the fear, free of the illusions. What would you leave behind? It doesn't necessarily have to be something physical. It could be anything that you would like to put in there.
What I hear from my heart is it would be a message that it's a simple thing. It's not about anyone knowing your name. It's not about what you achieve or what you personally accomplish that people say, oh, he did that or she did that. It's truly about what vibration did you carry? And did you walk your talk? No matter where you are, were you authentic and honest with yourself? And if you don't have that yet, ask for that from your soul.
Belinda, thank you so much. I just want to first acknowledge the love and the wisdom that you radiate and that pours through you. It's such a felt and palpable experience. I don't think I've ever felt this emotional in a podcast conversation. So thank you for allowing my heart to open. And I know that many other hearts were opened as well as minds. So this has been such a beautiful time with you. I would love to continue our conversations. And thank you for being so authentic, genuine, and yourself so that you can help us, all of us, remember the truth of who we are. I really, really appreciate you.
And you are appreciated as well.